Hello, Tony.
What's going on? This is JTH.
Mr. Tails the Hero.
And we are reacting to another fanfic, and this one is called Apple Bucking with a Beauty, another one by Jadex the Shadow Knight. And unlike some of the other Jadex the Shadow Knight fanfictions where we read where your character is a human, in this one you're actually a pony.
By the way, everyone, send us requests for, videos you want to see.
Actually, to be honest, we have a long list lined up, so I don't want to take any requests for a while.
But still, we gotta have the fans send in the requests. We'd like to write them down. Just one thing for everyone to know, I guess I better float us out there. I will not do fanfictions that involve Twilight Sparkle as a princess. He will, but I won't.
Actually, I thought that over for a bit. I'm not going to react to any Princess Twilight fanfics if you're not going to be with me.
Alright, let's get this going. Apple Bucking with a Beauty. He'll read, I'll react.
By Jadex the Shadow Knight. Well, we'll both react.
You know what I mean.
Okay. Apple Bucking with a Beauty by Jadex the Shadow Knight. And we're probably going to have to split this into at least 2 parts, because literally the words in this, over 9,000. Anyways, here we go. Fate has finally smiled on you. After waiting and all that hard work, you now have a job helping buck trees at Sweet Apple Acres. It's something you've always wanted, and so far your first few weeks have been great. You've even got to spend some time with your major crush, Applejack. Life is good. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, I think Applejack is pretty cute.
Yeah.
After meeting Applejack and getting to spend some time with her, she's even more amazing than you originally thought. You found her to be smart, funny, and even very caring. And naturally you try to look away whenever she catches you staring at her, but can you help it? No, she's positively beautiful.
Yeah.
While she is a very strong and hardworking pony, your eyes can't help but see the softer, more feminine side to her. She has those heavenly green eyes, the cute freckles on her cheeks, and that flowing blonde mane, and of course her delightful cutie marks, consisting of 3 red apples. Roll all those features into her light orange fur, and you have one heavenly pony. Aww, that's cute. And while she may act all tough and tomboyish on the outside, excuse me, you just know there's a sweet mare somewhere in there longing to be loved. Of course, what are the odds you'll ever get a chance to find out? Someone as incredible as Applejack must have plenty of stallions hitting on her all the time. Oh well. Well, if she does, too bad. You'll just have to wait and get by, right? Despite the odds, you feel there is at least a remote chance for you. Getting this job on her family's orchard is a huge step forward. And it's a good thing you spent all that time training and practicing your apple bucking. When Big Macintosh saw you buck for the first time, he was actually impressed. It was the first time you heard him say more than just, "Yup." Let's face it, you know he's a stallion of few words. Well, duh. He only talked normally, like, what, once in the whole series?
A couple times.
Yeah. There we go. Despite the odds, today looks like most days on the orchard, but with one major difference. You found out you're going to be bucking apples alone with Applejack in the South Orchard. At first you think your ears are lying to you. You stand there for a moment with a half dumbfounded expression. Then you hear a proud voice say, "Come on now, what are you standing around for?" Shaking your head, you realize the words belong to Big Macintosh. The red stallion is looking you square in the eye. "You okay?" he asks you. Nodding your head, you reply, "Yes, Big Mac, I'm fine. Sorry, I was just getting mentally geared up for the apple bucking I'll be doing." You hope he buys your story, but you know Big Mac is no dummy. Yeah, he may be a stallion of few words, but he can be smart when he needs to be.
Oh, yeah.
He grins at you and replies, "Alright then, I'll trust you two to stay focused. Now get over to the South Orchard and give my sis a hand. You should feel lucky today. She requested you to help her personally. Applejack normally prefers to work alone."
Yeah, that throws up a flag right there.
You try to hide your enthusiasm, but it's not working so well. At least your mouth didn't drop open. Standing firm, you give your fellow stallion a nod. "I'm on my way," you declare. Big Macintosh chuckles at you. "Then run along." Giving him one final nod. There we go. You turn toward the South Orchard and take off at a firm trot. The fact that you are going to be working with Applejack sinks in. Your gait quickly turns into a full gallop as your hooves tear into the dirt trails, kicking up a small cloud of dust behind you. In a few minutes you arrive at your destination. There you see a heavy concentration of apple trees. Surrounding the bases of each tree are several carefully placed baskets. and just a few feet from you there sits a two-wheel wooden cart. It's propped up on a pair of wooden shims, I guess. The bed is fairly deep enough and can easily hold several dozen apples. At the front of the wagon is a large water jug. A small metal tap allows access to it, and you spy a pair of cups along its top. It's a good thing some pony thought to bring water. After all, apple bucking can seriously be hard work. Doy? Well, duh, you blech. You tire yourself out all the time if you do that. Your eyes begin wandering around looking for Applejack, but there doesn't seem to be any sign of her. Figuring you'll meet up with her later, you eye a nearby tree and decide to start with it. Just as you go to take your first step, you hear a rustling. Turning your head, your eyes meet Applejack. She emerged from a nearby group of trees. There's a smile on her face as her eyes move to greet you. There you are, Bucky, you hear her say.
Bucky.
Yes, she called you Bucky. It is the nickname she gave you about a week ago after seeing how you bucked trees so enthusiastically. Applejack started calling you that. At first you didn't care for it, but since she was the one calling you Bucky, it actually began to grow on you. That's actually kind of sweet.
Yeah.
I'm sure happy you made it. This part of the orchard has more apples to buck than I originally thought, Applejack remarks. You smile back at her. Again you look around all the carefully placed baskets. Applejack, did you set up all these baskets and that cart over there? You ask, pointing a hoof at the... Typo, man, it says cart. I think you meant to say cart. She tips her head back and lightly nods her head. I sure did. I got up right when the rooster crowed this morning, she replies. Wow, you sure are one hard worker, you remark. She waves a hoof at you. Oh, shucks, it ain't nothing much. I just live by the same mile the Apple family does. Early to bed, early to rise makes a pony healthy, wealthy, and wise. Applejack explains. She takes a few steps toward the cart and looks back at you. You know something? Living by that expression has helped my family. We aren't making too bad of a living here in Ponyville. Again you smile. Your family is very impressive. Every one of you works so hard, it's quite inspiring, you declare, hoping you aren't going overboard. Her cheeks blush ever so lightly from your kind words. You hear a chuckle escape her mouth. Applejack then says, That's very kind of you to say. We all do our best around here, and heck, you've been a big help to us these past few weeks. It's been quite a while since we had an extra hoof that can buck apples half as good as you do. A compliment from Applejack. At first you think you're hearing things, but the words quickly resound in your mind. You know your next response will be crucial, especially if you want to make a good impression on her. Feeling a tad embarrassed, you turn your head away. Oh, I'm not that special. Besides, I'm just doing my best to help you all out, you respond modestly. Her smile grows and she turns to fully face you. Quite the modest one, ain't you? You know I like that quality in a stallion, she reveals, leaving you temporarily frozen in your tracks. You want to say something, but you seem to have developed a sudden case of lockjaw. Applejack just complimented you, and you possess a quality she likes.
Lockjaw is a horrible thing to get. I've had lockjaw before. Basically, I was holding an apple in my mouth, right? And I was holding it. I was so nervous that that's how it was. It literally was stuck open. I couldn't. I had to go to the hospital. Had them put it back in place. Go ahead.
Applejack just complimented you that you possess a quality she likes. Thank goodness you have 4 sturdy hooves to stand on, otherwise you would have likely collapsed of the sheer thrill of her words. Shaking your head, you focus on the task at hand. I guess we should get started. Like you said, there are a lot of trees to buck, you know, taking a look at the massive group of trees sprawling out before you. She walks over to the water jug and fills one of the cups with water. Glancing your way, she holds it up and says, You want some? It sure can be tiring work. Best to take in plenty of fluids. Applejack is smart. That's a good idea. Okay. There is that clever side of Applejack you love. A new smile forms on your face and you walk over to it. I'd love some water, you reply. Offering you the cup, you reach a hoop and take it. As you take hold of it, your hoop lightly brushes against hers. For a split second, you were in direct physical contact with her. It may not have been much, but it certainly was exhilarating. You realize you really do not have it bad for her. You really do have it bad for her.
He wants her.
Yeah. Thank you, you add, drawing back your drink. Don't mention it, she says. Then she begins to fill her mug up and begins downing somewhat cool water within. Applejack had filled the big jug with water from the well, so it was naturally cool. It was still early morning, and the shade of the trees shielded the container from direct sunlight, so the water could stay fairly cold. Oh, sorry, I woke up early this morning. At least for several hours, anyway. If you want to know, I woke up at 8 o'clock.
Why?
Yeah, I just woke up at that time and couldn't get back to sleep. I wanted to rest for a bit longer. You slowly begin drinking your water, taking a moment to look up from your cup. You can see Applejack refill her cup and quickly down its contents. After drinking a third cup, she finally places the mug down. Boy, howdy. I sure was thirsty. Well, I don't know about you, but I think it's time we got bucking, she declares. Right, you agree quickly, chugging the rest of your water.
Bucking in what way now? Are you going to buck at the apples or buck at him?
Oh my god.
What?
You're sick.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. After replacing your cup, she eyes the trees up for a game plan. Okay, now, I'm gonna head over this way and start bucking the trees along here, she explains, pointing her hoop off to the right. Now why don't you start with the trees along here? If all goes well, we'll meet up somewhere in the middle. And don't worry, I ain't no slave driver. We'll take a break in a few hours, then of course we can also break for lunch around noon. Sound good to you? Nodding your head, you reply, sounds great. She smiles at you and states, if you need anything, just give me a yell. Well, happy bucking! With her last words, she moves off to start her work. Taking one last look as she walks out of sight, you finally get started. You return to that first tree you eyed. Turning around, you line yourself up and get into position.
I think we're being called. I think we have to end this video here, guys.
Yeah, I think my parents are calling me, so we'll
see you in the next part. It'll probably be 3 parts now.
Yeah,
well, I put up 4 fingers. Wow.
Well, 3 parts anyways. This is JTH.
Mr. Tailsthehero.
And we will see you in part 2. Goodbye.